It's a good morning to you. Welcome to Asake Online. My name is S01EPS15, and this is the Breakfast Club, a show where we talk about current affairs issues, and we also look into politics. This year is an election year, so most of our programs will be trying to evaluate what most politicians promised us. There were a lot of promises that were made in 2018. Some promised to repair roads. Others promised us, that the Occident will be functional. They promised us mega deals. They promised us, 200,000 jobs. There were a lot of things. We even promised, spaghetti roads and all those kind of things. So it's that time of the year where we are going to be voting again later this year, and we want to follow up on the promises they made, because we don't believe that politicians should just come every 5 years, make promises and go back, and then we vote them again and they do nothing. So it is very important that we hold our public office holders accountable to what they say. And in this series, we'll also be talking to councillors. At the end of the elections in 2018, we talked to quite a number of councillors who made promises, who told us they were going to do different things. And again, it's time where we are going to be electing new councillors, and we need to ask ourselves, do they deserve to be re-elected? Did they do anything meaningful? And I know in 2018 there were a lot of controversies about the councillors who were elected. Some of them were said not to be coming from Bulawayo. Others were said they can't speak Ndebele. There were so many things, and we know how it played. And I think at one point, citizens actually attacked councillors at the city hall because they were not happy with a number of things. One of the councillors that we talked to was Batirai Dube, who's a councillor here in Bulawayo, and there were a lot of things that were said about Batirai in 2018, and I'm sure now his ward would vouch for him or not vouch for him, and we want to know from his word, did he serve as he promised? But before we do that, we want to hear what Batirai said in 2018, and we hope that we're going to invite him, and then he tells us, according to him, how did he fare? Did he fulfill some of the promises that he made? Councillor, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So maybe the first thing that I want to ask is, who is Batirai? Who's this guy who caused a lot of controversy last week?
Okay. Myself, I was born 32 years ago in the town of Fumash. And having done my primary education in Chiredzi, my secondary education in Berejena and Chive, my high school in Masvingo. Then I joined Masvingo Poly, and later Great Zimbabwe, and later National University of Science and Technology. Before I was employed at Delta Fairbridge, then I was employed at Lobel's Biscuits for a short while. I think that's part of my...
So when did you start these things of activism, politics, and all those kind of things?
I started politics when I was at high school. The Zimbabwe National Student Union formed a high school student union, which I was chairing at national level. That's where I joined student activism. From there, during my college times, I became a SNAS member. I then chaired the Student Revolutionary Council, which is a military wing of ZINASU. In 2008, I was the youngest chief election agent in Zimbabwe, in Masvingo province. Then I came here at NAST. I did development and disaster management before I became employed. I started mainstream politics at ward level. I was the ward chairman, youth chairman. I raised to district youth chairman. Then by the time PDP was formed, I was the Masvingo Youth Provincial Secretary for Information spokesperson. Then there was a split in 2014. We formed PDP. And during its inaugural Congress, I was elected the youth president of People's Democratic Party. Then in 2017, that's when the alliance thing was the talk of the town. Then we started working together with the other 7 parties in MDC Alliance. So that's a brief of my political history.
So you have always been a political guy from the high school days?
Yes. I've been in politics throughout my life.
Okay, so looking at probably your experience in the last elections, I mean, how has it been as a young person who is involved in politics?
The last election, firstly, it was the taking over of President Chamisa for taking over MDC. That only has opened more spaces and has encouraged more youth to participate in elections. I can start to say when President Chamisa was appointed to lead MDC, during that process, there was a apathy in voter registration. But soon after his appointment, the numbers started to rise because the youth were encouraged by his appointment as a young president, and also youth were encouraged to participate. So this election, President Chamisa triggered a lot of youth to participate in this election.
So now you have been appointed a councillor, and probably before then, I know during the times of nomination and all those kind of things, there was a contestation in your ward. And I think there were 2 actually candidates from the MDC Alliance in your ward. How did that affect your work or the way you were working? So that means there are 2 candidates campaigning.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate situation. My party, MDC Alliance, fielded 2 candidates, but the MDC Alliance fielded me as a candidate. But unfortunately, that old Mangena, he was a serving councillor, I think, for the past 10 years. So he refused to step down. I think how the alliance allocated its seats and wards. So the Ward 24 was allocated to PDP. So I was the real candidate for that ward. But unfortunately, we went on as 2 candidates. So it was a difficult moment. Campaigning was tough. We didn't sleep. We were campaigning through and through. Even if you see the difference of results, there was a difference of something like 130 votes, which means there was a tight contestation between me and the former councillor. So it was a tough time, but due to experience, I managed to do it.
But I think the guy has also taken the issue to courts. Is it the case?
No, the guy, just like politics is different from church-wise. The guy reported a case on the 23rd of July to Chagalala police station, claiming that I'm tearing off his campaign posters. But his agenda was, he thought Zeki would disqualify me. But then he didn't have substance of his matter. Then on the very day of election, he reported another case saying I campaigned during a 24-hour period, which again is no substance. So there were 2 dockets at police station. So I went there and we went to the court. The court, the prosecutor asked about any substance of the matter. And he didn't even prove that.
So currently there are allegations that they are saying you forged the signatures of the nomination court. I mean, do you know about that?
It's very unfortunate. This is an unfortunate situation which is being created. How can I forge a signature? So if I forge the signature, how does Zeki allow me to? And I was supposed to be arrested. So that is politics at play.
So now you are the councillor, and what is it that you achieve? You hope to achieve at ward level in your ward? What are the areas that you want to focus on?
In my ward, there are so many problems. I think the former councillor was sleeping on duty. There are so many issues which need to be addressed. Firstly, I will start with we don't have public toilets at public places in my ward. So even at shops, so which is a health hazard. You send your daughter to the shops to go and buy bread. You end up picking those bottle ningi, and that's where people are urinating. So you end up putting it on mouth. The next thing we have, so the issue of public toilets need to be addressed, and we don't have running water at public places. That needs to be addressed. It's a reality that our economy is now functioning on an informal business. And we have to realize that, and that is a reality, whether I like it or not. And we have to appreciate that. But in my ward, there is no any single market store in my ward. People, they take card boxes, they put tomatoes, they took card boxes, they put whatever they are selling, which is an unfortunate situation. We have to live to reality. We need market stores for the people. So I am going to deal with the issue of market stores. Also in my ward, we have tower lights which are no longer operating. That's the reason why I was saying the councillor was sleeping on duty. The criminal activities are rising day by day because tower lights are not operating. So that also needs to be addressed. We also have disadvantaged families. We have families which are failing to send their school kids to school. We have old people. So we are coming up with the projects which will sustain or do away with such issues. We want the old people to be catered for. And I will give preference to the disadvantaged people if there is any form of employment in my ward, so that they will be able to upkeep their family.
Yeah. So now, if you're looking at the council as well, the city level, you guys are coming in, and we have a lot of projects that have been going on in the city, and the city is, not having so much employment. At city level, what do you guys, I mean, as a councillor, what do you expect to achieve in the next 5 years?
If we have gone through our SMART document, which was our election policy document, we're advocating for a smart city. And Bulawayo is one of the smart cities. But there are so many issues which need to be addressed at city level. Like currently, we have a problem of running water. And the city was experiencing shortage of water, which definitely I promise we are going to deal with that once and for all. If it means engaging whoever to pursue the Zambezi water project, definitely we are going to do that. There are so many projects. There is an Egodin project. We have to complete that project. The part itself has so many investment vehicles, like we have Ingwebu. We have to make sure that Kamban runs at full capacity, and for the benefit of the council, for the benefit of the residents of this city. So generally, we want to take Bulawayo to another level. The issue of water must be a thing of past in Bulawayo. We have to, through those investment vehicles, I think we if those investment vehicle operates at full capacity, I think we will even be able to create more employment for our youth.
Yeah, I mean, you look like that the issue of water has been a problem for Bulawayo for the last, I think, 20 years or so. And different councils have failed to solve this issue. What are you guys going to do differently, which these other guys have failed to do?
The issue of water, you know, there is that Zambezi project, which is not complete and which has political hassles on it. The first thing which we are going to do as council, we are going to engage whoever is responsible in that project. Also, we are going to, if we agree, then we will move towards looking for donor funding. We will also engage the RBZ to fund that project. We will also encourage our residents to use water wisely. So that while at least we are dealing with that water project, that little which we have, I think if we save it, it will sustain. Because it's only that we are not fully, we are yet to be in office. We are not fully in office. But the reason which I hate, the reason why we don't have water, enough water, is they are saying we want to fill reservoirs. No, we can't do that. We must use that, because the moment we are creating a shortage, you know, you fill your half drum of water, and tomorrow water comes, you throw that water away, and so we are creating an unnecessary situation. I think we must use that ningi and increase the pumping, and we can't say we don't drink water until this packet is. Who will drink it? You die. So we are creating unnecessary situations. But I think we will be officially starting the duty, and that will be the thing of the past.
Yeah, so I mean, last week during the swearing-in ceremony, I think you had one of the unpleasant, experiences when there were people shouting at you and all those kind of things. Tell me about that. What went in your mind at that particular time?
Unfortunately, I was served with the invitation letter on the very day in question, an hour before the event. That alone makes me late for that event. And I talked to the chamber secretary, who then apologized for late delivery of the name. Then I took my second reading, oath reading in Shona. That alone triggered the Mutwakazi guys who have been hired by the former councillor to boo me during my oath. Was on my way to the room, on my way to the chambers, they even went on to say, Lelishona Letruvi. But I believe Bulawayo belong to Zimbabweans, and I'm a Zimbabwean. What is more important is to look on developmental issues than tribal connotations. I think we've passed that generation. We have to address the real issues. We have to address development issues. We have to make sure that the ZANU-PF is no longer in this country. Those are the issues. We have to make sure, deal with the devolution issues. So, which I believe together will make it. The issue of being drunk, I only read it on paper.
So you were not drunk?
I was not drunk. I think the person of being late doesn't mean I'm drunk. The person of answering those guys or responding to their allegations of doing an oath in Shona doesn't mean. I took my oath, the town clerk was 30 centimeters away from me. I don't think he's a fool who can allow a drunken person to take an oath.
I mean, if you were to have the same thing would happen again, do you think you would handle it differently?
No. I don't think that will happen again. Because I think the question The question is about development. So the people of Ward 24, they are waiting for development. Those guys, Mtwakazi, it's another political party. I can't save Mtwakazi's interests. I have to save the people of Ward 24's interests. Using our smart document, I have to save the people of Bulawayo. It's a political party. It's a group of losers. Look, a group of losers now, they are now joining hands to deal with the type of connotations. No. This is not the right time to do that. We've passed that phase. The election mode is passed. We are supposed to address bread and butter issues. Can't continue shouting about languages. In Joburg, there are so many people, so many tribes in Joburg. Look at the level of development in Joburg. Moreover, this is a metropolitan province. I can even remind you, if they are talking about Arnold, what about Mod? So he has to go back to India. No. This is a metropolitan province. People from all walks of life, people from Britain come here to invest. That's why even President Mnangagwa keep on emphasizing Zimbabwe is open for business, though he failed to implement that mantra. People from all walks of life, they come to Bulawayo to invest. People from all walks of life, they just come just like Harare. It's a metropolitan province. I respect the culture, I respect the principles of this thing. But I won't be moved by tribal connotations at this thing.
So as
we 11 candidates going for vying for this councillorship in my ward. With the different surnames, with the different backgrounds. But the people choose. People, they don't choose on tribal connotation, they choose on capacity.
So out of the 11 that were there, you were the most capacitated that the people then decided to choose.
People, they choose me because they believe in me.
Yeah.
They believe I will deliver. Like what I've said, there was a former councillor who served for more than 10 years. And I said it, he was sleeping on duty. And I think I've addressed the issues which need to be addressed, which even show that there is no, in my ward, there is no new road, a third road. But there is all over the town, the council is maintaining roads. There are new roads. So that alone is you can see that the councillor was sleeping on duty.
So finally, as we conclude, what is your vision for your ward in the next in the next 5 years?
Generally, I want to transform Ward 24. I will try to twin with other ones in other countries so that we have exchange programs and develop the thing. And I also want to unite the people of Ward 24, that there will be one family. We are done with elections. So far, I'm in a process of appointing what we call the Parliament of Ward 24, which will be the advisor or the development committee. Those people who come from different angles of the world, so and who foster development. So in the next 5 years, you will see one family in Ward 24. You will see tangible projects. You will see a different word. So, General,
that was Councillor Arnold Batirai Dube, not Batirai like I was saying. His name is Batirai. Forgive me, comrade. Your name is Batirai, not Batirai. So Arnold Batirai Dube, who was telling us about himself, who he is, and what he hopes to achieve. And I wonder if people were to be called from his ward, what they will say about his term of office. Did he perform? Did he not perform? And for his ward, my question to you is, if Batirai was to come again and say he wants to be councillor for the ward, would you vote for him? If yes, why? If not, why? I guess this is the discussion that we'll be having in the next few months. I know there will be primaries or there will be whatever processes in political parties, and we'll be following them, not only for Batirai's ward, but for many other councillors and MPs in their ward. So we want to hear from your councillor, and we want to hear from you that, are you happy with what your councillor did in the last 5 years, and would you give him a chance to be represented again? You can get in touch with us on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, on WhatsApp. We are Site ZW. You find us on all the social media platforms. Please get in touch and tell us what you think about the performance of your councillor. My name is S01EPS15. Till we meet again in other programs, have a good day.